No, keep going.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Kobolds Gaming, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and tonight we continue our Heroes of Absalom campaign. Yeah.
For sure, like, not in the frame on stream, am I?
Oh, you are. You for sure are.
I am the king with my crown.
So is your crown. Yep. How's everybody doing today? How you feeling?
Great.
Great. Good.
Excellent.
We won last time.
A new book tonight.
Yeah, what?
I know. It's
New
exciting.
book, new
Guys,
me.
we won the game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
We did it.
yes,
We
and
finished.
no.
We're done.
Pathfinder.
It's over. We can go home now.
We beat Pathfinder. We did it.
Even if you could beat
Congratulations.
Pathfinder, you would have demonstrably not have done that yet.
What do you mean?
We beat
What are you
Pathfinder.
talking about?
I don't know.
We beat all of it.
I mean, there's still like multiple people out there that are like part of the main story that need to be stopped.
That is, and I don't mince words here, someone else's problem. We beat
Oh,
Pathfinder.
okay. I mean, hey, as long as we're all on the same page,
That's
take
for
us-
the other guys to deal with. We've done our part.
I will take us to the Mwangi Expanse and/or Geb so quickly. It's not even
Gabe.
funny.
No, I'm not ready to leave Twinkle Toes' adventures yet.
Gabe. Let's take our 12th level characters into a first level of an adventure path.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Let's just crit everything all the time.
All the time.
Only if I get to bring the book 4 and 5 and 6 enemies into book 1 of that campaign.
Just do the story of book 1, but with all the characters and enemies of books 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, all right,
That's what you want to do?
all right. We're gonna play Pathfinder Boss Rush. Okay.
Oh,
you're
We're
gonna
gonna
do-
speed run
okay.
Pathfinder campaign? Yeah.
What you're gonna do is we're gonna go back to back to back. You're gonna make 15th level characters, all right, and you get 10 minutes between each fight, and we're gonna go front to back the entire AP catalog of book bosses.
That's sick. Yeah,
I
I'm
am so ready to bring Sumac back just for that. Like,
in. Did you guys hear about the Giant Slayer speedrun that went on? The first
Oh my
edition
God.
Adventure Path Giant Slayer speedrun? They did it in, I think it was 36 hours.
What?
It was a speed run.
They played an entire like 3-year campaign.
They like didn't do like any of the RP. Like it was just like
Oh, sure. Right, sure.
it was like how quickly
fighting.
could
Just fighting.
It was just
yeah,
the
I think it was
combats.
just like fighting.
just
stuff like
fighting
that,
and
yeah.
puzzles.
The combats and the puzzles. Yeah.
They did milestone XP. They like planned the route, so I think they knew
They must have
the adventure.
played it through before, right?
Oh,
Like,
so they
Yeah.
cheated, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, it's just like an entirely different game. Like it's like not at all.
it's
Oh, it took them less than a day.
It's like me playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous for the 6th time. I know what is all going to happen, but
Yeah. And they were playing apparently like some of the most horrifying characters designs that have ever existed. Like all
oh,
like maximum
Oh,
meme
just,
build
like-
material. Yeah.
Oh, meme build, not like busted.
Well,
Like
yeah,
somebody-
busted ass, like complete, like no one would ever play this character in like a real Pathfinder campaign. Like,
Sure.
there was no RP. There
Got
was
it.
no like it was not a role playing game. This was like a video game, like a speed run.
Yeah, combat simulator.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
made a bard based off of Squidward. I just had that idea. And I really like it.
They hit the skip button on every cutscene.
Copyright that.
I like the idea though. Like, start at 18th level, right? Or something like that. Because there's no way at 15th level you beat the level 20 bosses from these APs. But you get 10 minutes. You see how many bosses you can do. And once you get past, like, the first end of book 6 boss. So we would start with, what was the first one? Age of
100?
Ashes. Age of Ashes.
Oh.
And go
Oh,
front
go in
to back down the
campaign order.
catalog, right? So you
Wow.
get the level 4 or 5 boss from book 1, the level 7 or 8 boss from book 2, so on and so
Isn't that
forth.
the one that like killed us all? Isn't that the 7 or 8? Or like,
No, it was later than that. It was later than that. I think it was
What
book
level were
3,
we?
wasn't it?
You guys didn't
I
even
think
die to a boss. You
What was
died
it, book
to
2?
pulling an entire dungeon at once. Something that has
Right.
clearly not transpired in this campaign. You all have learned your lesson. But I think there's something there, right? Because like you're gonna breeze through the first 4 bosses. The 5th boss
Yeah.
could go either way. But if you make it past that 20th level boss from the end of book 6 of Age of Ashes, right? Then you get to like recoup. You still gotta fight, right? But you get 10 minutes between each boss, so like you have a chance to build your strength back up on those lower bosses before you get to the what would it be? It would be Extinction Curse final boss. I think there's something. I feel like there's something there.
Are we 20th level at this point? What level are we?
No, you stay 18th level, but
What's the point
I
if
think
we're
it
not
could be
leveling
fun.
up?
that's the challenge, right? That's the challenge.
It's just a
I don't know
challenge.
about that.
Yeah.
I wanna.
Don't the
I like
adventure
the
paths go to
rewards.
20 though? Like, don't the APs aren't the
I
APs
like the
built
rewards.
for
Not
the
all of
last
them.
boss to be at 20? Oh, interesting.
Not all of them.
I thought that was a
Um,
change they made in second edition.
Some
They
of
renewed everything
the
to
all of
20.
the 6 book APs go to 20.
Oh,
God.
yeah, but the 3 book APs go to 10.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But we'd also be doing like the 1 book mini adventures and the 3 book adventure path bosses. So like
We would just do everything.
they're all it's front to back catalog, man.
And you give us no context on like who this person
No,
is. or
no,
what
no,
they
no.
do.
It's-
Just, like, we have
it's-
no intel at all.
it's
Just, like, this
strictly-
random guy.
Strictly the room and the boss mechanics.
I'm in. You set this up. I'm in.
Um,
I'll
that'd be
break
fun.
some 18th level character.
that's a Patreon goal right there. Is
I need.
Subscribe to our Patreon that we haven't set up yet.
P2E boss rush. Anyways, we're playing a real campaign. We're not doing any of this speedrunning nonsense. We have a story to tell. ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Hey.
So let me tell
Yeah.
you a story. This is a tough story to tell because there's been much tragedy. Your time here has been fraught with much death, much destruction, much murder and mayhem and madness. Up to and including a recent chemical weapon attack on a gladiatorial arena, which you all stopped. A mutant Iruxi strapped to a poison clockwork bomb attempted to spread some deadly noxious fume across the Blood City Games, the biannual fighting tournament that happens in the Irorium, which has been even more lauded this year due to the Radiant Festival. The stands were packed, and yet people still seemed to clear out as quickly as they could to get away from the thick purple plumes that enveloped the stands. And you all faced him down. Just stop. This would have been Ogverm the Merciless that you so mercilessly slew. As this cloud dissipates, a number of you found yourselves, despite slaying Ogverm, found yourself either unconscious in the smoke or still harried by it. Precious seconds passed as you attempted to get the unconscious body of Bastro out. But you were able to do so, despite the fact that he was, twice as large and 8 times as heavy, due to what it seemed to be an advantageous enlarging spell, gone horribly wrong when he went unconscious, and it was even more difficult to move him. You were able to get him out. You were able to apply magics to him to stabilize him, and eventually wake him up. And Oski, it's kind of at this time as you're catching your breath, as the sound of the crowd screaming and yelling and stomping of feet running across the bleachers begins to kind of dull until it's just a ringing sound in your ear. and we black out. The lights come up on a raining city street as we pull around into a back alley, following a man who seems to be stumbling through the streets of Absalom. Light rain patters the ground. The cold night air forces him to clutch his jacket more tightly to his chest with one hand to warm his outsides, while the other hand raises a bottle of some brown liquor to his lips to warm his insides. He takes a pull before stumbling again, ripping the bottle away from his mouth. He tries to steady himself with an outstretched arm, spilling liquor all over the cobblestone street of the docks. But, regaining his balance, he smirks to himself, oddly proud for regaining balance, and brings the bottle to his lip once more. Before he can feel that warmth, however, sweet and intoxicating it may be, he is knocked down, the bottle flying out of his hand, shattering onto the ground. "What in the seven?" the man begins to shout, but before he can begin his tirade of expletives, the band of travelers who knocked him down have run past him, almost out of sight. He looks on bewildered as he sees 5 figures, 2 Iruxi, one regal-looking and one alongside a large lizard companion, a shirtless orc, and a halfling, sprinting through the rain-soaked streets. The man sees one of the Iruxi carrying another figure, who appears to be passed out. "At least that chap got to finish his drink, I'd wager," the man says to himself. "Bloody careless drunks." The man pouts as he wipes rivulets of spilled liquor off of his soaked jacket. We cut to the inside of the safe house. Twinkletoes rushes over to the alchemy lab and pushes off vials and papers that clutter the desk. "Place him here," she shouts. Kashak, quickly behind her, places the dead body of Bastro Baltoran on the table. Kashak looks over at Erica Nesh, who begins scrolling an incantation on parchment. "Erica, what is it you need from us? I can move the tables around. You said Oski could be of particular value. I don't want to be in the way." Kashak and Twinkletoes expectantly look on at Erica. They begin explaining the components of the ritual to resurrect Bastro, but Oski is barely listening to the conversation. He's unable to fully process or appreciate the loss of Bastro. Bastro had helped save Oski from torturous captivity in the hands of Hendrik Pratchett, yet Oski could barely not save Bastro. He clutches a bowl containing some kind of food tightly, almost protectively, to his chest.
"I'm sorry, Kitsy. I wanted to be your friend,"
he thinks to himself. The food in front of him is both a comfort and a source of shame for Oski. He's exhausted, in pain, and very, very distant from this situation that he cannot face laying on the alchemy table. He feels his changed tattoo burn on his chest. He tries to resist, but is too weak and eats a morsel of the food with his hand. Oski snaps himself into the present, hearing Erica say, "Judging on the magical capabilities of your friend, Oski." Oski can barely muster a response. He again thinks,
"I'm sorry, Kitsy. I'm not a monster. Please forgive me. I just wanted to help."
Twinkletoes and Kashak surround Bastro. They look at Oski with pleading, desperate eyes, but Oski's eyes dart back and forth between them for a moment, then to Erica, who is showing Oski the incantation. Oski throws the bowl onto the table and clutches his hands to his head, muttering,
I don't know. I don't know. This is beyond me. I don't know. I don't know."
A panic sets into Oski's face. They mean for him to resurrect Bastro, he realizes. The intrusive thoughts remain, repeating.
"I'm sorry, Kitsy. I'm not a monster."
The tattoos on Oski's head heat under the obscuring weights of the hands and begin to writhe. We flash back to the Lucky Nimbus Casino. Gage Carlisle is giving condolences to Mrs. Hammerman, for the loss of her husband. There's a brief discussion of the auction and some meek gift bags given out before Erikanesh, Twinkletoes, and Kashak, who is carrying the dead body, all hastily move towards the exit.
I'll be right back.
Oski pipes up. Oski is bruised and bleeding all over. His ripped shirt reveals the changed tattoo that still burns on his chest. The Ouroboros that surrounds the clutch of eggs has seemingly hatched a new one. 2 eggs have now bore monstrous worms with fang-rimmed mouths, each writhing in pure hunger. That hunger is more than Oski can bear. He's grown used to the dull pangs of hunger, but this is different, and he is weak. He needs to consume. He has to. Hunger takes over.
I'll be right back.
Oski tells the party and sprints towards the kitchen. The second that Oski bursts into the kitchen, he is hit with an overwhelming smell of seasoned white beans, charred pork, and braised goose, all simmering together to form a perfect mixture of umami flavor that is cassoulet. The joy and relief of this sensation, however, is short-lived, as Pachiro begins yelling at Oski. "What are you doing? Close that damn door, you idiot!" Oski winces at the shrill, grating voice.
Please don't yell right now.
Oski's mouth waters at the pot of cassoulet. Pachiro's onslaught continues. "You lazy, good-for-nothing oaf! Close the door or get out! Don't lead them in here!" Oski winces again, but reaches out to the pot of cassoulet. "Did you come in here to eat? You don't get to eat! Close the door and get the fuck away from mess in that pot!" Oski doesn't respond, doesn't listen.
Where's Gitsy?
He grabs a stone bowl and starts to ladle some of the stew into it. Pachiro almost laughs. "That worthless halfling? I sent her to figure out if I could sneak out the back. Stay away from that stew. No one is eating that. I did not order Gitsy to make that. She disobeyed my menu." Oski slowly begins to ladle some of that cassoulet into his bowl, savoring the moment of what he is about to ingest. Suddenly, the bowl is knocked from his hand. Oski stares down in bewilderment, and his eyes meet Pachiro's, who is holding Oski's wrist now. Pachiro says, "Look, you miserable waste of an employee. This is still my kitchen. Regardless of what's going on out there, this vile stew that Gitsy made will go one place and one place only. The trash! Now, go find out what happened to Gitsy. They may have got her." Oski stares down at the upturned bowl on the floor and begins to reach for the pot of cassoulet as his tattoos begin to move. "Did you hear me? Go out there and figure out how I can safely get out of here. No one is touching that garbage cassoulet. In my kitchen." Pachiro lifts the pot and walks towards the garbage, while Oski's eyes remain fixed on the spilled bowl of cassoulet at his feet.
You sent Gitsy out there? In the commotion? What if she's hurt?
Pachiro stops beside the garbage, places the pot on the lip of the can, and looks flabbergasted back at Oski. "Well then, you'll have to go and find her, won't you? I'm getting out of here in one piece with my kitchen unsullied, thank you." Pachiro begins to pour the cassoulet into the trash.
Don't.
The words seemed like a reflex. Oski didn't mean to say it, but his tattoos begin to writhe. "Don't do what? Do this?" Pachiro says as she upturns the pot. And at that moment, Gitsy sprints back in from the side door. She says meekly, "Pachiro, ma'am, the way looks clear around back." Pachiro responds, "Good. Took you long enough. Now, come here and keep pouring this into the trash for me. I hope you've learned your lesson about disobeying your direct superior in their own kitchen." Oski looks up from the floor and meets eyes with Gitsy. Gitsy has bruises on her face, a black eye, dried tears. Eyes grow wide looking at the condition Oski's in, however. Pachiro continues. You miserable, worthless cook. I am going to demote you to nothing more than a serving wench when all of this is done. The tattoos on Oski's head come to life.
No, not now.
Oski plays with himself, but it is too late. Oski charges Pachiro, slams her up against the wall. The pot of cassoulet drops to the floor, spilling the remnants. Gitsy screams. Get off me, Pachiro says, before the tendrils from Oski's face rip into hers, tearing her face clean off and digging into the neck and chest. The violence lasts only a moment before Pachiro's chest cavity is laid empty. Blood stains the walls and the floor, and the tendrils subside as Pachiro's dead body drops to the ground, her blood and entrails mixing with the spilled cassoulet. And Oski falls to his knees, giving over to the hunger again. Gitsy looks on in stunned silence. A pregnant pause fills the kitchen.
Please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean this.
Oski mutters. Gitsy? No reaction.
Please, I just wanted some of your cassoulet. You worked so hard on it.
Gitsy begins to cry.
No, please. Please, it's okay. It's okay.
Oski tries to scoop some of the cassoulet back into the upturned pot. Some of Pachiro's remains go with it.
Please, we can have some together. It's safe now. They're gone. Please, we can have some in peace, please.
Oski struggles to his feet. You monster! She shouts. His eyes look down as he meets Gitsy's. Oski sees nothing but abject fear and terror behind her tears.
Please, no,
Oski stammers. Gitsy turns and runs. Oski now looks around the ruined kitchen in shame. Grabbing the bowl from the floor, he scoops up the stew that used to be cassoulet, now with its new ingredient. He looks at the stew in his bowl and slowly eats more before returning to find his party. The ringing in your ears begins to subside as Ben earns a hero point for that lovely description of whatever that was.
Gross.
I think that was horror.
I think it was a murder.
That's pretty gross. Yeah. There's definitely a murder.
Horror with murder elements. Yeah. You're...
Interesting. I'm really intrigued by that series of events.
Yeah, there was a specific moment where Oski said that he would be right back with you all, telling you guys to go and he'll catch up.
And I do want you to know the lines from Kashak and Twinkletoes are direct quotes. I went back and listened to the VOD. those are direct quotes.
I heard my own voice come out of Will's mouth. That was what.
I just played the recording. I took the sound bits. Yeah.
Click.
For both
along to it.
Kashak and Twinkletoes, it was a copy paste. Very easy.
One to one. Yeah.
Kashak's was really good.
Thanks.
I love you.
I don't have your register. I can hit Jack's register. Don't have yours. Doesn't matter. I'm God. This is the point as you kind of have this out-of-body experience, Oski, where you realize that Bastro is now up after having received some healing the smoke, this poisonous gas begins to dissipate, and you see the four of you collectively see the body of Ogfirm and his two companions dead on the sands around you. Perhaps you all begin to go through and, as you've done many times before, snatch anything that looks important off of the bodies. But it is at this point that you see probably Kashak first being the most observant of the group.
Now hold on there. Just kidding.
What's your perception?
No, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah. I had a notebook.
He is a ranger.
There it is. It is at this point that you see a number of figures beginning to approach you, walking down the large central staircase that kind of bisects two of the quadrants. Like the large staircase that goes up the middle of one of the long edges of the Aurorium. You see 5 figures walking towards you. 2 of which you recognize, actually. As they descend the staircase, you can see that Captain Runewolf, with his hulking and imposing figure, is kind of leading this party, if you will, down the stairs, literally parting the crowd in front of him, both with active and passive measures, simply striding through down the stairs and making space with just his presence. Following behind him, the 4 others, there seems to be a human man, rather elderly, kind of a hunch in his back, seems to be wearing loosely, like those ninja pants, you know, that are kind of like puffy, but come back at the ankle and the waist.
Harem pants.
Parachute.
Yeah, harem
pants?
Harem pants.
harem
Yeah.
pants.
And you see that there's like this bright blue harem pants with white wrapping around his torso and down his arms. Very like elderly gentleman, dark bronzed skin. You see a very, even ancient by elven standards, elf, still standing tall with just pure white hair that falls to the shoulders, dressed in very like royal blues and golds. You see the figure of Olansa Terramore, the council member that you met in Runewolf's office.
Yeah, we didn't like her, right?
And at the center
I don't remember.
of this group is a man with
Is it Reginald Venkaskerkin?
That person always shows up at the freaking end of books.
it's not. The last person is somebody you do not recognize
Yet.
yet. But you see a man with dark brown skin, kind of a goatee, like a trimmed goatee on the front, and wearing full plate armor. And he has about shoulder length locks that have been pulled back, tightly coiled and pulled back to like a braid, or not a braid, but like a ponytail that comes off the back of his head, tied with some fabric, and you see bits of golden and turquoise and green jewelry that have been woven into the locks all the way down. He seems to be a human man with a very stern expression as he's like taking in his surroundings, looking around, but moving with a distinct purpose towards you. The group eventually clears the majority of the crowds And you can see now that there are members of several city guard units who have begun to kind of escort and chauffeur people out safely, trying to coordinate this chaos that has ensued, getting people out safely without any injuries from trampling or falling on these Iorian bleachers. And the group approaches you. The man at the center of the group, the one in full plate armor, approaches, stops about 10 feet away from you, and looks the four of you over in turn before saying, "Thank you. I appreciate the work that you've done here today, and Captain Ruinwolf here has told me that you all have been instrumental in combating this cabal that has sprung up in my city. For this, you have my gratitude, my thanks. Well, and I would hope that I could have your ear. See, we need help with the Twilight Four."
One of them already.
So I've heard. The butcher that Ruinwolf spoke of, the one in the catacombs beneath the Ascended Court.
Yes.
This is primarily the reason I'm looking to hire you all. But I've forgotten my manners. I haven't been doing this very long. I am acting Primarch Winsel Starborn, and I thank you for your service to Absalom.
Oh, wow.
This man to my left is the
Could you
first
say that name one more time? Sorry.
acting Primarch Winsel Starborn. This man to my left
okay.
is Garethol Brighteyes, first Spell Lord. This is Alonsa Terramore, one of the Grand Council members and city planner responsible for everything you see here at the Radiant Festival.
What a great job she's doing.
And this is Captain Shristi Meliptra of the Foreign Quarter.
Tristine.
Shristi. He gestures to the man in the harem pants. Shristi Meliptra.
How the hell do you spell any of this stuff?
Shristi Melipdra.
So we got acting Primarch Winston Starborn. We're meeting the president.
Winsel, Starborn.
We have Alonsa Terramore, who we already know. We have Shristi Meliptra, who's who?
The captain of the Foreign Quarter Guard, whose name is escaping me.
And it was Garethol what?
Bright Eyes.
And he's like King Wizard?
He's one of the 4 spell lords. There are 4 like archwizards that run all of the catch-up in Absalom. Spell lords 1 through 4 each concern themselves with different areas. The first spell lord is the personal like archmage of the Primarch, basically.
And he's not that. He's not the first of the 4 spell lords, is he?
He is. He was introduced as first spell lord.
We're meeting like
The people who run Absalom.
the 4 most important people in the city right now.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
We're meeting like the actual Freemasons.
Oh, I drop into a deep curtsy.
Yeah, it turns out stopping a chemical bombing on the massive arena games and
Gets you a Medal of Honor.
gets you, it's funny you should say Medal of Honor. Shristi walks up and says, "I appreciate your service. Here, please take these." And you're each presented with basically like a what are they called? You know those little leaf pendants that pin the cloaks in Lord of the Rings, that they get from the elves.
A good old brooch.
Brooch.
Flask?
Thank you.
Approach.
You're presented with 4 silver brooches in the shape of swords.
What kind of swords? Just regular swords.
The pointy kind.
Mm.
He says these are symbolic prizes for feats of bravery in the games. It's a badge of honor normally reserved for those who have tested their mettle many times in the Irorium. But you all have earned this and much more today. Tristy steps back. Alonsa steps forward and says, as one of the chief organizers of the Radiant Festival, I can most assuredly say that without your bravery, the festival, the city, would have been imperiled. She goes to shake each of your hands and then steps back behind Winsel again. Winsel Starborn steps forward himself now and shakes each of your hands before pulling out a small coin purse.
Small clippers.
Small coin purse.
Okay.
Large coin purse. Oh, platinums
Small,
only.
small, large bag of holding.
Small.
He says, unfortunately, I have little in the way of discretionary spending at this moment, but I would hope to enter a formal contract with due payment in a proviso provided by the Grand Council to pay you for your continued efforts against the Twilight Four. But please, take this in the meantime. Hands you a bag. Again, a small coin purse of 80 platinum.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Yo.
That's
800 gold.
each.
Yeah, each, right?
80 platinum each.
And believe me, I would not place this pressure on a group who had not been so duly tested already and who had not proven themselves worthy of the charge that I seek to place on them. I only have this one question for you. Do you wish to get to the bottom of this Twilight Four, and will you help us do so?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good. Runewolf, if you wouldn't mind. And Captain Runewolf steps up as Wenzel takes a step back. I don't remember if he was Russian, but I'm going to do Russian now because I feel like it. Says, now, obviously everything that you find on the bodies of these traitors is...
That wasn't hot, no.
I
mean, you're always hot, but...
I appreciate you interrupting my improv. You know, it's cool. I just throw your thoughts and opinions in there. It's fine. I don't need a cohesive acting group to do this improv game with you. No, it's fine.
Runewolf, did you change? Did you, something happen to your throat or something?
Wait a minute, something's a little different. Yeah.
It's an impossible. That's not Runewolf.
Do you have like several marbles in your mouth at once?
Attack him!
The spell lord like steps up and casts like 6 spells and it's like, no, yeah, that's Runewolf. I don't know what to tell you.
Guys, I don't think we met the real Runewolf last time.
If you're Runewolf, then who's that guy?
A second Runewolf just appears from behind a curtain, shapeshifts down into a doppelganger form, and starts sprinting out.
Down from the control panel at the top of the room.
Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. Says, anything you find on these traitors is more than happy for you to take yourselves, but I do have another mission for you. See, I've been, after our little incident in the Ascendant Court, I have been putting together information regarding these cult members, this Twilight Four. You four will be joining up with a co-worker of mine, we'll call it, who has been gathering information on this man that they call the Infector. The one who is responsible for the poison.
This attack, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You all will be helping him to capture the Infector and bring him back to the council, so that we may politely ask him questions about what he is doing and this group that he is working with. In 2 days' time, you will be meeting up with my friend. You can call him the White Rose, if it pleases you. Be meeting up with the White Rose in 2 days' time. It's the same chapel, the abandoned chapel that led down to the catacombs that you went into to rescue my guardsmen and women.
The Great Cooks, yeah.
Yes. Meet up with him there at about 11 o'clock.
Meet him like at the entrance. Sorry, the entrance to the catacombs.
In the chapel that went down.
Chapel. Sorry. Yeah.
So still surface level, just chapel that went down. He'll be there with further information, and we'll have the next steps for you all to take. But please take some time, get some rest, recover, recuperate, do what you need to do to be ready to continue your investigation in 2 days' time. And with that, the 5 of them each give you a nod or bow, and you see that Winsel begins to point to Runewolf and Shristi specifically, pointing to different places as the 3 of them disperse, and then you watch as illusions begin to pop up from the Spell Lord across various surfaces, like big arrows, and say, please walk this way, everything is okay. Like, just illusions basically reassuring the public as Runewolf and Shristi begin to take up command of various cadre of their guards to try to corral and cordon people and get people out safely. And Winsel, Alonsa, and the Spell Lord take their leave. You're left again with the 3 bodies.
So is meeting a Primarch a big deal? Again, I'm not from Absalom.
Can I an Absalom lore check to
Absolutely.
All right. 24.
24? Yeah, I mean, this is something that Absalonians would know for sure. There are, like, basically 2 houses of government in Absalom. There is the Lower Council and the Grand Council. The Lower Council is made up of about 43 or so representatives from each of the districts.
Lower Council?
Lower
I was
Council.
hearing lore, like Absalom lore,
No.
and I was like, why is there a lore council? That's so funny. Anyway, continue.
A lot of lore in Absalom.
A lot of lore.
There is the Lower Council made up of about 40 or so odd elected representatives from the various districts who take care of the kind of day-to-day governance of the city proper. There are also like district councils, so each district has their own. For those of you familiar with American politics, it's essentially a state house is the district council. The House and Senate would be the lower council and the Grand Council, respectively. Except that the Grand Council which is a much smaller member of very powerful, very influential people, generally only deals with major matters, only meets every few months, if that, and typically reserve themselves for, again, just like the most pressing matters and foreign affairs, leaving a lot of the day-to-day governance to the lower council and district councils. The Primarch is the kind of representative head of the Grand Council. So basically like tiebreaker and holds a lot of influential sway in the Grand Council.
Speaker of the House.
Yeah. The Spell Lords that you heard mention of are also members of the Grand Council, so there are 4 of those. On the Grand
Did we just meet
Council.
half the Grand Council?
Seems like we did. Oh,
No, just 2, because Tristy is just a captain of the guard here,
Correct.
and then Garethal is just
got it.
a guy.
Right.
He's just a
Okay.
Rasputin figure.
No, Garethol is one of the spell lords.
Yeah, he's just
Garethal was
one of the secret cabal that actually runs the city.
I also misspoke. Only the first Spell Lord is on the High Council. But there
Oh,
are
got it. Only the
1,
first.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 members of the Grand Council. And you met 2 of them.
Noise.
Still pretty wild.
1-6.
Yeah.
Some of the other positions would be like Commander Militant, First Lady of Laws, the Diplomatic Minister, the Chief Sanitation Commissioner. Basically, like all of your, standard.
Head trash guy on the
Yeah.
on the Grand Council.
Hey, man, trash in a city is important.
Yeah, and they gotta have the head trash guy take care of it.
Trade Minister, Sea Lord, so on and so forth. The kind of constitutional crisis, if you will, that Absalom is currently facing is that during Tarbafon's siege 2 years ago, the Primarch, who is still technically the Primarch, and that's the hitch, Lord Geyer of Gix, was serving as both Primarch and First Spell Lord due to his just almost unparalleled magical acumen. He was acting as both Primarch and First Spell Lord for himself, basically. And he just up and went missing during the siege. Winsel Starborn was the commander militant at the time, was in charge of all of the forces of Absalom that were defending the city against the siege, and in basically an emergency council meeting, they elected him as acting Primarch. The problem being is that due to all of the spells and divinations and things that they have done to try to find Lord Geyer, he's still alive, and they know he is still alive. They just have no idea where he is or what condition he's in.
I'm sure there's nothing else to read into about that.
100.
Yep.
I'm 100% confident that this is all above board, and there's definitely not something weird going on there.
So the constitutional crisis they're currently facing is both the Primarch and the First Lord of Spells are acting, not the official, and due to the laws, they cannot be renamed until the position is either passed on by Lord Geyer or Lord Geyer dies.
Or he dies. Yeah.
Which
Oh yeah, so this is a
he's
weird
still
limbo.
alive, but he's not
And if they
around
were-
to pass it on.
And if they were to ever decide that he was no longer in capacity for his duties, who would make the decision about when that happens? Who takes the place and stuff like that?
That's the problem,
That's the problem.
because nobody on the council wants to be like, well, it's up to the Primarch to decide, because he's not really the Primarch.
Yeah.
Um,
This is where in the real world we just be like, yeah, he's probably dead. Let's declare him dead and move on. But then with magic, you're like, no,
he's for sure
he's
alive.
No, he's
definitely not
alive.
dead. I am 100% confident he's alive.
So essentially, you just met one of the strongest military commanders who successfully led the defense against Tarpafon I say successfully because he had help from a group of heroic adventurers who actually defeated Tarbathon. But he maintained the city through the siege for over 2 years against Tarbathon's undead horde. The Whispering Tyrant, for those of you who are deep into Pathfinder lore, is not a
Hashtag.
guy who was to be messed with.
Hashtag the Tyrant's Grasp Adventure Path.
Yeah, the very last first edition AP dealt with that siege that we're discussing. You essentially met the currently most powerful wizard and the currently most powerful like military commander in Absalom, and they're asking you for help.
Dank.
We are
Guys, big
underqualified.
deal.
Yeah.
They have this whole thing like the entire city of Absalom to run that they're dealing with. So
They're hiring a contractor.
That's small.
basically.
That's
Yeah.
small.
They're just contracting out 4 of the most difficult cases that they're running.
so
Cool.
you continue going through. I'll just tell you this off the top. The 2 rando dudes, the 2 Aruxi that were with him, another +1 striking scimitar, 2 more +1 striking scimitars, and 2 more +1 leather armors. As for the big guy himself, all he's got is that axe.
Axe.
Okay, no armor.
No armor. That's why you're hitting him.
I mean,
and critting him so
Yeah,
easily.
his
What a poor
AC
stat.
was so low.
Yeah, the whole idea of that combat was that you guys would be like, I don't know, failing your fortitude rolls, and none of you did that until the very end. So like, I don't know.
We're just too good.
You guys slapped
Yeah,
him, but he slapped you back.
rolled. We
Slapped you
rolled
back.
really well for most of that combat.
Yes, he did.
And I can really easily see how that, because I mean, it got pretty bad with Bastro. It could have gotten pretty bad pretty quick.
I got
outside of that,
scared.
too. You got tossed around, big boy.
Oh, he was a big boy, and he still got tossed around.
Are our friends still with us? The people that we're talking to?
The
Our best
important
friends
people?
on the Grand Council? Yeah.
Oh no, they all left to go manage the situation.
Okay.
You can see that. I mean, maybe you catch a blink of it as Winsel and Garethal literally just disappear in front of your eyes. And
Cool.
Shristi, Olansa, and Runewolf begin, like, again, leading the guard and getting people out of here safely. And you can see, like, they're setting up, like, a triage center for the people who are affected by the poison. Unfortunately, some people did succumb to it, but some people are still suffering from it, or suffering from the complications of it. They're setting up, like, a triage center on the sands, beginning to get assistance. You can see some of the Aurorian priests and clerics are beginning to magically heal some of the afflicted citizens.
Cool. Can we be of any service to them? Can we be of any help in this moment? Or do they pretty much have that shit unlocked?
If you were to offer to anyone, everybody there would tell you, no, you've done enough already. You've already stopped the guy. We can take care of the rest. Go rest up and heal yourselves. Like,
Okay.
that's, like, everybody saw what you did.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, especially, like, if you were to go try to help the guard or the clerics, they're all like, nah, like, we got this. It's under control. Take care of yourself.
Is anybody dealing with the body of the Ravenile?
It's a wide berth. Nobody seems to be getting anywhere near it. And at this point, you can see, like, where the 2 glass canisters had broken. There's just, like, deep purple, like Arbok poison from Pokemon. Just this
Yeah.
deep
Yeah.
sludge or like muck,
Some smoke on
like
the water.
sludge
Yeah.
that's just drilling out of the broken glass pieces and kind of coagulating in the sand. On his body, you find the battle axe, like I mentioned, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything else. I'm pretty sure that's the only item he had. Yeah, that's literally. Oh, sorry, you do find magical leather armor.
Is that
So I
plus one
take it
level armor?
+1 resilient.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's enticing. Okay, cool.
But you're gonna have to spellcraft the axe.
Yeah, we got a ton of stuff to spellcraft, I think.
It's not called spellcraft. It's identify in this game.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to spelly welly a bunch of things.
What are you all doing?
Kashak, I think, is pretty shaken up by this Ravenile. He's spending a lot of time, pouring over his body and like trying to make it seem like he's cool, but he's like not really cool. Like this is a really scary thing. Like this is a boogeyman come to life for him.
Mhm.
He didn't really think these were real. And it's like in front of him, and it almost killed his friend. So I think he's trying to be like I think there's a deep sadness about him that like this thing exists and was weaponized and was used in this way, but it's also like really scary because like I didn't think these were even a thing. So he's I think struggling with what to do around it, kind of like almost like out of his skin a little bit.
Doc, how you doing there?
What? Oh, good. This armor looks nice. It's a little big.
Well,
Um,
no, but it looks sick. Do you think I could cut it apart like I did hundreds for myself? Do you think we could do that?
I
Are
mean,
you
maybe.
okay? Looking a little green than usual.
This is I don't know how to translate it into your tongue, but this is a creature that I didn't think was real. And he kind of explains what we learned from the check we got last week, which was that like this creature wasn't a Ruxi that was either fertilized by like a demon or like a spirit, and one day just becomes this horrifying monster. Like it could have been your friend for 16 years and like is now just this disgusting, horrible creature. I didn't think that these were real. And I'm just mostly really sad that someone would turn something like this against this many people. It makes me think of home.
I'm really sorry. It's not going to happen to you, though, is it?
I'm 46 years old, Twinkle Toes. I think my Ravenile period is pretty much over.
You're
Yep.
46?
46.
Wow!
Iruxi lived to years, so I'm not actually that old.
It's just actually younger than I thought.
What should we do with the body?
We should bury it. But I'm not that inclined to give it any more respect than I would any other foe. At the end of the day, this is a creature that was probably not aware of its own existence or of what it was doing. They're intelligent, sure, but I don't know. He's very clearly conflicted about this. Like, this is a creature that would have been like a friend of mine, but like it's also an abomination. So he's like trying to keep that hate within him, but like not really let it like dominate his choices. But he's very clearly like, I don't want to fucking deal with this. Like, I don't want this to be like our problem. Let's bury it and let's be rid of it.
Sheethra acting with you feeling this way.
I don't know if Sheethra like is picking up on the fact that these are other Iruxi. Like, I think that our connection is slightly different than just me being like a lizard folk. So I think she is pretty normal, but yeah, to your point, I think she's probably pretty upset about like she feels that connection, right? So
Yeah.
she's probably like very close to me and kind of rubbing her head along like my thigh. And I think Kashak would kind of be like pushing her away right now and just kind of like, no, I'll get you some jerky later, okay? It's kind of important. I'm doing something here. She's very puppy-like right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we get to burying this very large creature in the sand? I guess, is that legal? Can we do that?
Okay. Let's take him outside of the Aurora
Yeah,
at least, perhaps.
Do you think Shithra could help us carry him out of here?
He turns and kind of shouts something guttural to Shithra, and she starts like dragging him. And I feel like that's
Is Bastro up and still
Bastardo's
large?
up. I mean,
Are you still large?
Oh God!
I think 10 minutes is the time. So if I would assume the conversation with the fancy people lasted long, like at some point during that conversation, Baxter probably went zoop, 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 zoop.
I can definitely roll athletics to try to move this thing away from the arena.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. Give it enough time and help from Oski, Bastro, I mean everybody here, including
16.
Shithra. Like, you can get him out. Nobody's gonna give you a
Lift
side eye
the end of
anyways.
his tail. I'm just holding the end of his tail behind everybody else.
So are you taking him where are you taking him? Are you taking him to a temple owned graveyard? Are you taking him out of the city?
I figure like the ditch outside, something like that.
Probably the nearest cemetery. Maybe the Temple of Erastil.
OCJGF.
Yeah.
That is, let's go to the map real
Oh,
quick.
that's far
Very
though.
far
Isn't that
away,
very
isn't it?
far? Yeah, that's very far. We don't want
Shithra,
to
can you drag this horrifying creature across the entire city of Aslan?
halfway across the biggest city.
For what it is worth, you can actually see the Irorium on the map.
From space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
that. And
We don't want to. We
you'd-
don't want to do this.
you'd be going like out here
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Look, there's this this wooded area right here. I say we just
There, I
take it
agree.
there.
Effectively, like Times Square Park.
A park. Yeah, we just go to a park.
I would
This is all your problem now. See ya.
I would prefer to take him to an actual cemetery. Just maybe the nearest one.
Local
maybe
cemetery.
Maybe you ask around the clerics of Irori that own and operates the Irorium. Funnily enough,
Wow.
would say there's a place that you could bury him. Please follow us, and they will take you out to this little patch, kind of the northeast, and there's like a sectioned off graveyard. And they bring along a couple of shovels, and it takes you a while, because you gotta dig like where you normally dig like 6 feet down. You'd have to dig like probably like
10 feet.
8 or 10 and twice as tall, or twice as long, and twice as wide. So it takes a minute. It takes a minute. With all of you rotating out and giving it your best effort, it still takes about an hour and a half to get enough space where you can lay Ogverm down in there and still have enough soil on top of him to feel comfortable about it not, washing away or uncovering the body for some reason. And it is now well into the evening. The sun is beginning to set, maybe 7:15, 7:30. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick 15-minute break. We'll be back at 8:30 Eastern Standard. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a minute.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody.
What's up?
Exciting news. I don't know if we mentioned it on stream at the end of last episode, but you all leveled up to 12th level.
We did.
What? Exciting.
So why don't we go ahead and talk about it a little bit? Get a
Let's
chance
talk.
to see what everybody's new little things and bits and bobs are. Who wants to go first?
I like a good bit.
Sure,
And or
sure,
Bob.
sure.
I can go first.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, a lot of the 12th level stuff, the even levels are just your feats, right? So it's your skill feats and your
Just
class feats. Just your feats. So I took a stealth skill feat, called Foil Senses, which I think is a really cool, like mastery level stealth feat where I am essentially always making preparations against special senses. In like the rules, you have to like take those kind of measures, and you have to like prepare in certain ways to like deal with like tremor sense or like scent and other things. But this way, I'm just like whenever I'm avoiding notice or hiding or sneaking, I am just doing that, which is really cool. Because I think we're going to start running into a lot of stuff that can see with more than their eyes and their ears, because that's how stuff works. My free archetype feat was I have the archer archetype, the archer dedication. I am very quickly running out of feats to take because it doesn't really go up to 20. It just like has like a handful of feats that are good for like a certain level. But I took Parting Shot. It's 2 actions, and I get to make a step and then make a range strike with the weapon, and my target is flat-footed against the attack that I make with it.
That's nice.
So good to move a little bit, take the shot, and they're flat-footed, which is kind of cool. It's hard for me to get people flat-footed because I can't flank at range, but that's a cool thing I can do. My class feat is really interesting, and I'm really interested to see how we end up using it. It's called Warden's Boon. I can spend an action to point out vulnerabilities and grant the benefits of my Hunt Prey and Hunter's Edge benefit to an ally until the end of their next turn.
Whoa, what?
So I can take an action to give somebody else 2d8 precision damage
Whoa, that's
on
pretty
their
cool.
first hit against my hunted target.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a really interesting. It's the start of a really interesting feat tree that goes along, which I think is really, really fun. Actually, like it culminates in my 20th level feat, so it's like a really cool like journey that I can take along the tree of the feat tree. But
On the road to the end.
on the road to the end, you guys might be getting some additional d8s of precision damage in the near future.
That's tight.
Cool.
I can go next.
Yeah, hit me with
Alright.
that.
So I like the same order that Jack did. Skill feat. So I took an interesting skill feat because we're at the level now where we can have master level, and I like at least one, if not 2 skill feats, right? I'm a master in crafting and intimidation. I've taken the useful master intimidation feats already. And then the crafting just sucks, so I'm not even gonna bother.
Next month.
So I decided. Hopefully that changes next month. Yeah. But I decided to do something a little different.
Change next month.
I took an additional lore skill.
Ah,
Additional what?
Lore.
Okay.
And if this is allowed, Will, I took Norgorber lore.
It's totally
Which may be a
for sure.
little on the nose, or on the starry eye, but figure we've been dealing with this, so like Oski would figure that out and maybe start looking into it a little bit more. Also, fun fact for anyone thinking that like some skill feats, like there are no good ones, if you take the additional lore skill feat, it has an automatic progression to it.
oh, that's neat.
So I took it, and I'm a master instantly because of our level.
That's pretty dope.
So just if anyone wants an instant master lore feat, it's got an automatic progression to it. So
You
You have to be trained in lore first, though, in A lore.
Everybody's trained in
lore.
Everyone should be trained in a lore from their
Actually, that's
background.
not true. Some rare backgrounds don't like include that. Like some pretty rare.
Oh, okay.
Like does really
Okay.
funky things with like your score, your whatevers.
Sure.
But
Okay.
yeah, all the common, and then I think most of the uncommon backgrounds will have that.
And then for the archetype one, expert spells. So I've got a 4th level spell that
Nice.
will be revealed at some point. And then my class feat is a paladin staple, going back since the dawn of paladins. I'm not playing a paladin; it's a champion, but it's a paladin staple. Champion sacrifice, focus spell. So anyone takes damage, I can have a reaction and basically take all of that damage instead of the other person.
Does that grow your focus pool too?
It does also grow my focus pool.
So are you at 2 points or 3?
3, baby.
3, baby.
At your max.
Wow. A 6th level focus spell. Jesus, what level are we?
12. That's how that works.
So high. That's all.
Okay.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that is cool. Further reducing the damage that his friends take, but still using reactions. Little reaction starved there, huh?
Yeah, well, such is life.
Yeah, well. Twinkle Toes, Bastro, anybody?
Oh, the target's
Go, I am
resistance
here,
is
I am
applied
ready.
first. That's cool.
So I'm gonna give you a little hint here, Jack, about how to beat that running out of archetype feats that you can take. Make sure you start with an archetype that will give you later archetypes later on also. So, for instance, my archetype feat was the social purview, which means that my alter ego gets to have their own archetype as part of their social identity.
What?
And I can use that as Twinkle Toes when I choose, at risk of exposing myself. However, the archetype I chose is the Lore Master dedication, which is all up in here. So, pretty.
Wait, that's
Vigilante dedication just gives you another archetype. What the hell?
If I take a feat, that will.
that's so
that will do
cool.
so. Yeah. So that's my archetype, is the social purview. So Eliana is now a Lore Master.
Nice.
I also took for my skill feat, I chose the Slippery Secrets, which is a deception skill feat.
Oh.
So I elude and evade attempts to uncover my true nature or intentions. When a spell or magical effect tries to read my mind to detect whether I am lying or reveal my alignment, I can attempt a deception check against the spell or effect's DC. If I succeed, the effect reveals nothing.
Cool.
And then my class feat, I got another finisher, folks.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Is that
More
3 or 4?
finishers.
This
3 or
is
4
my,
finishers?
I think it's my, let's see, wait.
We have confident, dual.
Confident, dual, exemplary, stunning, and mobile. So this.
Oh my god, you have 5?
I have 5 finishers.
You don't really use
Um,
exemplary or stunning very often.
I don't tend to use them very often. I don't.
Stunning could be really cool.
Yeah, I forgot I had that one, to be honest.
What is exemplary exactly?
Exemplary is when I can step as a free action immediately after.
That's cool.
Stunning, I think you can guess what that one does. And the mobile finisher is I can, I attack while I am in motion, stride and then strike. You can use mobile finisher while burrowing, climbing, flying, or swimming instead of striding if you have the corresponding movement type. So stride and strike in one action.
Stride and
Love-
finisher in one action.
Stride and
That's
finish
crazy.
in one action. Yeah.
Yes.
Love that cheating the action economy.
And
That's
you have
awesome.
so much movement speed.
So much movement, guys. So much. Yes.
That's huge. That's actually huge.
Yeah.
Charge and its variants are just good. Just strictly good.
Yeah, any one action to make a movement and then hit is a really, really cool feat.
Big for melee.
Yeah.
Well, that's everything from Twinkle Toes, yes?
Yes, indeed.
That leaves us with our best undead, re-dead, not dead friend, Bastro.
Never really alive.
I'm just unconscious because that happens quite a lot. Skill feat I chose for Bastro went back to the beginning and took quick identification for Arcana.
Such a good feat.
It is a great feat. So now I am taking 1 minute to identify magic items and stuff instead of 10 minutes. So that'll be a lot faster. My archetype feat is the same as Ben. I am now an expert spellcaster for witch archetype. So for me, that means I'm an expert divine spellcaster. I get a 4th level spell. It's heal. All my witch archetype spells are going to be heal. It's always going to be heal.
That's
nothing,
funny.
nothing hidden. And then the class feat I took, Magus's Analysis. So this,
Sorry, what?
I really
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, say that
Yeah.
fast.
Magus's
Magus's analysis.
Magus's analysis. I've always mispronounced Magus.
I say Magus.
Magi
Magus.
Analysi.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
Magus analysis.
Anyways, for one action, it lets me recall knowledge on a creature. If I had just made a strike on that creature in that turn, I get a +1 to that recall knowledge. If my check is successful, I also recharge my spell strike.
Really
So it
cool.
kind of gives me like a two.
Whoa.
Like I get to
Wow.
recall knowledge on the creature, and I also get to recharge. So
That's really cool.
it's gonna encourage me to
Yeah.
more often, which I regrettably don't do.
In one turn, you can spell strike it,
And then
recall
recall
knowledge on it. It's like, oh, I hit that pretty hard. I know what it is now. And then
I
you
get a
can recall it again next
+1.
turn. And you get bonus.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the extract aspects. Of
It's an insane
Monk.
feat. Yeah.
That's a level 2 Magus feat.
Oh
So
wow.
Wow.
You really held off on that one.
yeah, right. None of the level 12 ones.
10 levels later. Great.
10 levels later.
Well,
Yeah, my feat that I took was an 8th level feat. I've been like 2 levels behind for pretty much the whole game. But like, that's life.
except for, first level when you don't have any options like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, you all feeling a little bit more confident in your abilities. Take your newly gained haul with the knowledge that the movers and the shakers of the city are recognizing your talent and are requesting your aid. You have a meeting with the White Rose in 2 days back at the chapel where you originally descended below the Ascendant Quarter. 11 p.m. on the dot. So you have tomorrow and then the day after at 11 p.m. It's currently, as I mentioned, at this point after burying Ogverm, the Merciless now shown more mercy than he ever did his opponents. You make way back to the hideout? Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything anybody's doing on the way back?
I wanna stop by the Grand Bazaar to try to find a pair of goggles of night.
Goggles of Night.
We all took 20 platinum, right? Just
Yeah. I'm about to spend most of it.
If you do that, just remember that you do, because I'm keeping track of all the loot.
Yeah.
Now, did you want to go with the regular Goggles of Night? 5th level?
Unfortunately, I cannot afford the greater.
The crater isn't like a 15th level item.
11th level.
It's 11th, but
Really?
it's
11.
It's 1250.
1250 gold.
oh my gosh.
But
Yeah,
you
these all like item level, like gold equivalents. I don't know if this is a gold light adventure, but like they're crazy high numbers for what we've been working with the economy.
Yeah.
guys have also gotten a lot of stuff. Might not seem like it,
Yeah.
but you've gotten a lot of stuff. You
Yeah,
also-
I could probably actually. I also kind of want to try to sell the Reaper's Lancet at this point.
That's gonna take a day if you want to do any selling, and you're gonna do all you have a lot
Okay.
of stuff to sell. So if
Yeah.
you guys want to do
And
that
we have-
tomorrow, it'll be a day of
We have
time.
some stuff to identify too, so we need to do that first and then sell it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so
If you want to stop at the night goggles store, we can.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'd be 150
uh-huh.
for the goggles of night. There is a goggle and eyewear vendor on a cart that's just kind of like pushing along, saying, get your goggles, right here, I got your goggles. Any goggles you need. Goggles a day, goggles a night, goggles a left, goggles a right. I got them.
Oh, that's a great line.
Can I get a pair of goggles of night, just the regular, not anything too fancy?
Hey, if you spend another 25, I'll throw in a goggles of day. Huh?
And
What do
you
think?
can make it a combo for only 2 more gold. You get fries and a drink with it. It's a scam. The fries aren't very good.
Oh my god.
And just the goggles of night, that's gonna be 150.
All right, thank you.
All right, all right. Freshly out of
I'm
goggles
then
of night,
gonna-
but you bet your ass I got the right goggles.
You get 1 pair.
I'm then going to go back to the safe house and start messing with my mask to install the goggles of night into them.
Nice.
V cool, V cool. Anyone else on the way back as you're passing through the Grand Bazaar and or anything else you would like to do?
I think we're gonna do so much tomorrow with all this money.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Money, honey.
Money.
Eventually, you make your way back with a small detour through the Grand Bazaar. You find yourselves back underground under Twinkle Toes' mom's house in the secret hideout. Remember that time Twinkle Toes bought a house for her mom and then dug out a massive cavern underneath it? I do.
Batman.
And yet I don't have a burrow speed yet. Ridiculous.
Haven't quite figured it out. Getting pretty good. Not that good.
It's about 8 o'clock at this point at night. Roughly 51 hours before meeting the White Rose.
Bastro, would you mind telling me what some of this stuff is? And he pulls out the magical crossbow, the 3 alchemical vials, the magical staff, and then the large battle axe from our 2-foot by 2-foot bag that we keep. Pulls out the large size battle axe that the Ravenant was using.
Sure, give me 6 minutes.
I'll give you 5, and then I'm gonna start tapping my foot real loud.
This would have normally taken
Russian,
an
yeah.
hour. Am I just rolling Arcana like once or 6 times?
Roll it twice, and then I'm gonna need a crafting check for the vials.
Maybe Olski. Olski? Want to get the vials?
You want to craft that, John?
What was that?
Hey,
It's a-
can you take a look at these vials and tell us what it is? Because
Sure. Yes. Sorry.
Oski seemed very distracted when y'all just said his name. You see, he's actually holding the demon's mask, like he's sort of like a little kid taking off their Halloween costume, just sort of dangling it. He's holding it, and he was staring at it, and then snapped out. Says, "Oh yes, hand him here. I'll take a look."
thing's pretty freaky, isn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
It was definitely effective, though. Seems like you were spooking those elementals, and I didn't even think those things could be spooked.
That was pretty wild. But really cool wild. Not a wow, you were so scary to us wild,
Remarkably targeted scariness.
Yeah.
I was not scared in the least, but that elemental was very scared.
I was pretty scared of the elementals, but not of you.
I got a 33 and a 28.
33
2
and
Arcana
28.
check.
Okay. So the
How many crafting checks was I rolling, Will?
was it
three
it's gonna be
3?
2.
Okay.
Not sure which of the vials are the same.
2.
Just 2?
Yeah. What'd you get?
Me or Bastro?
You.
31 and a 24.
31 and 24. Okay. And sorry, the Arcana checks were
33, 28.
okay. So the crossbow, just a +1 striking crossbow. But the bolts, you found 5 magical bolts. 3 shining bolts, 2 explosive bolts. In terms of the where is it? The alchemicals, you found a greater dark vision elixir, a moderate elixir of life. And a vial of Blackfinger Blight,
Oh no.
which would be the poison. Oski, as you realize what it does, the poison that was aerosolized for the bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff is no joke.
Blackfinger. Hey, I wonder if anybody knows a lot about Norgorber that could tell us a little bit about Blackfinger.
I don't.
I wonder if there's any Nurgorber Lure Mersters in this room.
The staff
Mercer.
Pretty far stretch, Kashak. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find that.
The staff is a moderate staff of fire.
Oh!
Moderate staff.
That's
of
pretty cool.
fire.
I thought you were just gonna say it's a moderate staff. I was like,
So-
Same.
I love this because the elementals were in a pool. This whole place was like a bathhouse. The elementals were in a pool that had sedentary water sitting in it for like decades. And when it collapsed, the tunnel collapsed, it trapped a bunch of people in there. Those were the skeletons you fought. The
Mhm.
like trauma of them being trapped underground like this and no way to help caused negative energies to bring them back as undead and like covered the area in necromantic energy, which corrupted the elementals. But there was a boiler, and the elementals were there to like keep the water moving and make like jets and stuff. There was a boiler on like connecting the room that you fought Franca in and the baths to heat the water. Some rich dude gave a staff of fire to the Aurori priests, and they were just using it to light the boiler every morning.
That's great. That's great.
That's hilarious.
So funny. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we're good.
Did
The
we get what the axe was? Yeah.
The axe.
I guess we could do the axe, yeah.
That's the juicy one. The axe is a +2. Greater striking. Jezzit axe.
Oh, that thing's serious.
What is it, Jez?
What
Jezzit
that even mean?
is a precious material, often known as quick iron, that is black with a dull red hue. It's extremely reactive to magic, even in its solid, workable alloyed form. It glows when targeted by magic, and the objects crafted with Jezzit alloys glow with scarlet striations, which also leads some smiths to call it tiger iron.
This thing is worth so much money.
When
Yeah. Oh my god.
you crit with a Jezzit weapon against a prepared or spontaneous spellcaster, you cause the target to lose one prepared spell or spontaneous spell slot unless they succeed a will save.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
This is
Yeah.
a standard grade, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, it's worth
Pretty
so much
wild.
money.
It's a couple dollar dues.
A Jezzit weapon is 8.
Could it have bought me the greater? Could it? It could have bought me the greater goggles of night. Okay.
What kind of bulk is this weapon?
It's just a great axe. Whatever
But
great
isn't it-
axe is.
Isn't it large size?
No. There's no sizing in Pathfinder 2e.
Isn't it large still?
No.
And there's all this stuff
It's
for
a great
different for
axe.
large.
It's a great axe.
Oh. All right, cool.
Cool.
This is
Kashak about to be a martial fighter? Is that what's gonna happen?
no, we're all about to get a bunch of stuff from the money we're going to use with this thing. I mean, does anyone want this?
No.
No.
It's such a good weapon.
It's such a good weapon.
Such a good weapon for any other group.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was like anything other than a ranged
This is
martial, I would be creaming. right now.
Barbarian's dream.
If I were
You're like
not a finesse specialist.
Or like a two-handed fighter.
Yeah.
God, you'd be losing your shit right now.
I want this in 1E. I just want to hit wizards and make them lose a spell slot.
Yeah. Jesco would love this weapon for sure. Do we want to start fighting over the +2 greater striking, or do we want to like try to settle it diplomatically, or do we just want to say I get it? Those are all valid options.
I mean, if none of us are using it, we're
Bastard,
selling
you
it.
better stay out of this.
With your...
You've got +2 greatest striking things.
You're
already.
right. Absolutely.
So it would be great, but I think that generally it would be better for Kashak.
I have no interest in these items. I'm actually going to go to bed. I will see you all in the morning.
And Oski just goes to bed. He leaves this conversation.
Are you headed back to the apartment? Are you going upstairs? What are you doing?
Oh, right. Do we sleep here? We don't sleep here,
Not
do we?
really. You still sleep in the
Oh,
apartment. You guys
I was
just
gonna-
paid
oh.
rent like 3 days ago.
Oski just crawls in the
right. I forgot. Then Oski just said, I want no part of this, and just sort of like sits on the
My mom's
desk and
house
like.
couldn't. My mom's house could not fit you either.
Yeah, it's just like a little.
No, yeah.
one-room
He
cabin.
just like leaves the conversation and like goes and like sits by himself.
So should we discuss moving runes? Yeah, you know what? Never mind. We'll do it later. That's for tomorrow. All right, see you, Oski. It would be a great honor to inherit this weapon's properties, especially considering where it comes from. Perhaps I could put it to, well, at least a bit better good.
Too bad you need Oski
Yeah.
to transfer it.
Yeah, maybe when he's feeling a bit better, we can ask Oski if he can transfer it.
I mean, I'm right there. I just didn't want to take part in the picking of items. That's all.
I'm
right here.
I go over to Oski like real quietly, and I'm like, "Hey, bud, would you be able to maybe? I know you're not feeling too great right now, but when you're feeling a bit better, could you maybe help transfer this +2 greater striking rune to Kashak's bow?"
How's a 28? Is that good enough?
I
I don't remember.
gotta roll 2.
There's a ton going on here, and we're also probably transferring my runes that are
Right. I
currently
actually
on the
don't remember
bow.
how this works.
This is like a
Um,
complicated thing.
Do you
Yeah, I
have any
actually don't
rune
know how this
stones?
works. No, at least not that I don't
Oh,
have.
those are cheap though. We could just go buy one.
You can transfer them to runestones pretty easily, and then transfer the +2 and then the greatest striking.
But can't you just transfer between the two weapons?
No, like you can't put a plus. You can't like instantly.
You can
swap
either
them.
move one rune from one item to another, or swap a rune from one item with a rune on the other item.
Oh, does it say that? Then yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
So you could just swap my +1 and the +2 on the axe, and then you could swap my striking with the greater striking on the axe. So it'd be a +1 striking Jezzet axe, and you'd make my bow a +2 greater striking bow.
Does a 28 beat the item level DC? That I rolled on the first attempt.
Ooh, that's
That might be
actually-
close.
That is actually.
it wasn't a good-
Very close.
It wasn't a good roll. It was a bad roll.
Customizations? No. There's runes.
Level DC is on crafting. So what
Also-
level item is it?
Don't forget you have to spend a 10% of the price of the item.
I'll pay it for sure.
Grimoires, held items, high-tech items. What?
What level item is it?
That's what I'm trying to find. I'm
Oh,
trying
Well,
to
okay.
+2. I mean, weapon potency +2, right? So
Oh yeah, it'd be the runes.
weapon
Level?
potency +2 is denied as 10th level.
Oh, then that's DC 27, unless there's something else going on. But the standard, then I beat it by 1. I transferred it.
Because my bow becomes a +2.
So pay the gold and it's yours.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is actually relatively complicated.
now the greater striking.
Okay.
Let me just actually make sure I have 10% of that gold.
I rolled a 37 on the second roll, so I'm pretty sure that.
Oh yeah, I do. Nice.
Yep. So both of them transfer over.
Oh,
And then just pay the greater striking check, and it's yours.
guys. Are we serious right now?
Yeah.
Everything just got so much better. My
Jack
whole life
is
is so much better.
Eventually, after runes are transferred and talks of money in the morning subside, you all make your way back to the apartment, bed down for some much-deserved rest, and wake up feeling refreshed with all of your full 12th level abilities, spells, everything of the sort, raring and ready to go. You have today off.
Remind me, what's the room situation? Do we have our own rooms or do we share rooms? I actually don't remember.
There are 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a kitchen. And originally, you all decided that Twinkletoes got a bedroom. You had a Dragon Horde room where you just threw all of your loot. And
That's
then the 3 dudes slept in the living room, but Kashak dented the floorboards, poured a bunch of water into the dents, and used it as a mini swamp.
Well, Doc didn't dent it.
I used the dent
Sure.
from Penumbra Starbear,
Right.
and I filled that with water and made
That's
a swamp out of it. And our downstairs neighbors hate us.
But I have since moved my safe house from my bedroom to my now safe house. So, like, hypothetically, I could be sleeping there. Like,
At the safe house?
hypothetically.
You gonna split the party?
No. But hypothetically, I could.
The reason I ask is whoever's sharing a room with Oski, if that's Bastro and Kashak, like Oski doesn't sleep. And he's like seems like he's like either talking to himself or muttering a lot throughout the night. And he basically doesn't get any sleep. So if anyone like would wake up or see that or whatever, like Oski is very anxious about something clearly.
I think you would definitely wake up Kashak. I think he's a pretty light sleeper. And you said you're just like muttering. Are you doing anything in particular?
It looks like he's trying to like you've seen Oski and Bastro like cast spells. It looks like he's trying to cast something.
Oski.
Kashak, yes. What?
Are you spellcasting? What time is it? Are we in danger?
No, sorry.
And you look over and like he's staring at this like demon's mask like on the floor trying to cast something. He's not wearing armor. He's got just like a V-neck shirt, like night shirt on, so that you see that tattoo a little exposed. And you see he's crying.
Oski, are you? It's a silly question. What's going on with you? What's wrong?
Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry.
You could literally have turned the wrong way in your sleep and woken me up. I'm used to it.
I don't know. I feel power more. I should feel it at least. I don't know. I think Masluda's trying to give me the strength to remove this, and he like almost scratches at the tattoo on his chest. It's like I feel her trying to give me the strength to remove this curse, and I'm trying, and I can't. I can't.
Makes you so sure that the strength she's giving you is to remove that curse.
Maybe I want it to be so. I don't know. The last several days we've been going nonstop, but something happened back at the casino that just reminded me why I came to Absalom in the first place.
Why did you come to Absalom in the first place, Oski?
Kashak, I'm scared. I I hurt people, Kashak. I can't. I can't stop it. I don't know how. I need to rid myself of the. And he tosses the demon's mask to the side. I need to get rid of this demonic energy that's in me, that's in my blood, Kashak. And throughout our adventures here, I felt us get stronger. I know you have felt it too, and I feel a boon from Masluda. I feel it. But it's not working, Kashak.
I had a friend at home. He was a very talented individual. His I don't know what they call parents where I come from. His rearers were sure that he would be one of the greatest. I forget the word in common for you make salves and potions and things. He had an eye for measurements and quantities and mixtures and formulas. But for some reason, everything he tried to make would turn out a little off or wrong. His parents racked their brains and tried to figure out exactly what was going wrong, how his gifts could be so twisted. And then one day, our caravan stopped outside of a major city. He snuck out for the night, rebellious teenagers and all that. He went into the city, and there was a stand where a man was making smoked meats, cooking all kinds of food. And my friend was so enraptured. He became the best cook I've ever known. He fed hundreds of our Aruxi brothers and was lauded for all of his accomplishments. He found a way to take his gifts for the artistry of combining ingredients and put it somewhere else. He could have spent his whole life thinking that he was just worthless for not being able to make potions and salves. But instead he found out exactly what he was meant to do. I think you're kicking yourself a bit much for not using Masluda's gifts when you haven't even really figured out what they are yet.
I want to believe that to be true, Kashak, but I'm afraid that I am walking a path I can't walk back. Kashak, I killed someone days ago. Devoured them. You've seen what happens to me.
I won't lie to you, Oski. It's definitely horrifying. And I can for sure understand why you'd want to be rid of it. But I'm not going to sit here and give you the speech that your skills are useful to us and that we can be weaponizing you against the enemy. That makes you no better than that Ravenel we fought earlier. Oski, I'm not like a super religious guy. I mean, I know I wear this thing and you inscribe that really nice note on my armor, which is super cool. I get it. That's really awesome. I really appreciate it. But the whole religion thing, it goes a bit over my head. But there is a reason for everything. If Masluda's testing you this way and for this long, it wouldn't be exactly for no reason. We've all killed people, Oski. Hell, you just gave me a huge upgrade on the whole killing department. It's not savory. It's not fun. But we have to do it. I wouldn't put any more thought into it than that.
Perhaps you're right, Kashak, but I don't know, with the time we have, I may seek out ways to use my gift, as you call it, like your friend. I'm sorry for waking you.
If I can be of any assistance in that department, you let me know. But yeah, until then, would you keep it down a little bit? I'm really trying to get some sleep here.
Sorry. I will keep it down.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man, come on.
Jesus.
And he kind of, who? Aridin. I mean, oh
What?
God.
Jesus Christ is just a celebrity in Absalom.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
13th
He's just
level
a dude.
bard,
Yeah.
oratory specialization,
Give it like 100 years, so it'll be a big deal.
cleric
Big deal.
dedication for healing.
Kashak sloshes his water in his tank and then goes back to sleep.
I'd like to think you've slowly added like layers of like clay and like bushes and dirt that you found and brought into the apartment.
There was a while where Sheether and I were sharing a swamp.
Yeah.
When she was still like medium sized and like a little bit more lithe, she and I would like sleep together in the filth. But she's a bit too big. I think she sleeps in the totem now, which I don't know if that's comfortable or not.
Eventually, you all fall back into rest and then wake up after sleeping in a little bit at a nice 8:30 to start your day. What's on the docket, friends?
We have some items to discuss if we're going to sell or not. I assume I feel like I've got it pretty much down, but I wanted to ask about a few things. So all the weapons and their various like enchantments are going to go, except we dealt with the axe a little bit. I need to still calculate that price. Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of want that +1 resilient armor. I know it's pretty big, but maybe I can get it to fit me.
Yeah, is that just a resilient upgrade for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll just figure out the price for just a regular, I guess we just one more +1 leather armor.
You should have 5 +1 leathers.
Yeah, it's all good. Cool. There's a greater dark vision elixir that I think we
want
should hang on to. Why don't you keep that? Actually, do you really need that anymore?
Well, I mean, the goggles only give me 1 hour, so like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
and the less we have to use the sun rods, the better. So
Yeah.
cool.
Honestly, I would like all of the alchemical vials.
I guess whoever takes the elixir of life, like we just buy
Degenerates.
we just buy
Yeah.
fewer of them in the store.
Yeah.
So I don't really care who takes it. I did just spend a bunch of money on my weapon enchantment, so I'd love to get a free elixir of life if that's cool with everybody.
Go ahead.
I'm fine with that.
It's a greater too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's mod. Yeah, that's great. The vial of Blackfinger Blight, and actually this brings up another interesting conversation, which is we're kicking around with 12 skin saw masks in this bag like all the
Yeah.
time.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
We also have the chained leather vest from Echimalixis that I don't think we ever dealt with. And we're still carrying a banner of the skin saw, which I do think we should still hang on to just in case. But if we're already going to sell a vial of Blackfinger Blight, we may as well find the guy who's going to buy the masks, right? Like, we may as well just get down and dirty.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, and the fire
that's
staff.
right, yeah.
And the fire staff. Do we want the fire staff or no?
Yeah. Bastard would rather hang on to his greater healing staff.
And you can't really have two, right? That doesn't make a
No,
lot
you
of
can't.
sense.
You can't.
Okay. I feel like you casting fire spells is just better. So let's sell that just for the pocket money.
Twinkle wants it really, really, really bad, but just can't use it.
Does Oski want it? Like you don't. You use one hand
fire-
a lot.
Yeah, but my Oski's magics come from divination, and I'm a sorcerer. Like I don't have access to the full list, and I think to cast spells from a staff, you have to have it on your list.
Yeah.
So it's useless for Oski.
Twinkle tries it a few times, like really hard, like tries to cast from it. It doesn't work.
What's your tradition? What's your spellcasting tradition?
Divine.
So
You
you
can
probably-
cast a spell from a staff only if you have that spell on your spell list, are able
Yeah.
to cast spells from the appropriate level, and can expend a number of charges from the staff.
Yeah, this is just like really nerfed on you for sure. So let's just sell it. Okay, that was it. I'll get you guys a final figure, and I'm accounting for everybody having taken their 80 platinum already. So please do that if you haven't already done that. That literally paid for
20
exactly my rune transfer. So thank you, Daddy Winsel Starborn. And well, you said it was a greater Staff of Fire.
Moderate.
That's
Well,
moderate's not a
there's-
thing. It's
There's regular, greater, and major. It's the 8th level one.
I think it's the greater.
I would assume greater.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep assuming greater.
It is a major.
Oh wow!
Oh, no kidding.
What?
Major staff of fire.
Does that change anybody's mind?
It's even harder to cast from it.
Guys, we have so much money.
How much is that about to get us?
The major staff of fire alone is worth
1,800 gold.
it's 1,800 gold, so it'll sell for 900. Please riff and continue while I do this.
All right. Well, Oski wakes up in the morning, and like once we're all gathered and maybe talking about like what we're gonna do and like sell things and who wants what.
Sorry.
Oski is still holding the demon's mask. He went over and like grabbed it in the morning and is like holding it and says, "Oh, everyone, I need to talk with everyone. I cannot continue on our mission. I'm sorry I kept Kashak up a little last night, but I didn't sleep a wink. I thought I received a blessing from Masluda, but it's fallen on deaf ears, apparently. The spell Remove Curse will not work on me. It won't. I am cursed, and I can't get rid of this demonic infection that's in me. I've done horrible, horrible things with it, and cannot in good conscience continue on in this party for fear of doing something to you all, or to someone we're trying to protect or save. I need to deal with myself before I can... I need to help myself before I can help others. It's not you, it's me, is what I'm trying to say.
Oski, I don't understand. We're supposed to meet with the White Rose in about 48 hours. I'm not...
I need to figure out how to rid myself of this. I don't know how long that will take. I'm going to go search out every temple. I don't know if there's a temple of Masluda even here. I need to find someone capable of ridding myself of this.
Isn't there anything we can do to help?
Do you
Why-
have
why
something
do you-
more powerful than Remove Curse?
I have a few heal spells. Maybe that could.
I feel mechanically at full hit points right now.
Darn.
In fact, I feel stronger than I did yesterday. It's like I went up by a whole level in power.
Oski, I don't... Are you sure that alone you're more capable of dealing with this than together with us? I mean, I don't know. We're pretty powerful people now. We certainly got some new friends.
I don't know how long it's going to take. You only have 2 days off. 2. Before you're going after this wretched infector. I want to be able to help, but I fear that I can't. I'm not going to be gone forever. I just need to deal with this first.
But you'll come back.
Please, I need to deal with this. Please. I don't want to be a monster anymore.
It's your choice, buddy. I mean, as much as I don't want you to leave, you feel like you have to do this. I understand.
Leave me, Bastro. I don't want to leave. You all saved me from certain death. I want to return and do the same for you.
Is Oski sitting up or standing? Or sitting down or standing up at the moment?
He's standing. He feels like very formal right now. Like he feels like he's giving a speech. Like you know when you have to like bring up something important to people who aren't expecting it, and you like sort of feel awkward about it. That's how Oski is sort of acting right now.
I run up and jump and like wrap my arms around your neck and just hug you.
Never not be shocked by your nimbleness, Twinkletop. That was rather impressive. I know I'm 3 times as tall as you. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Come back to us.
Again, not gone. I'll just be away for a little while.
Kashak's gonna pull a necklace off of his neck and toss it, and then Pokeball Sheethra appears. He makes a couple noises in what can only be described as reptile language, and Sheethra then looks at Oski, looks back at Kashak, looks at Oski, and then like drops super flat and low, and like slides up to you, and then like looks up into your face, and it starts like softly licking at like the front of your armor.
Oski's I think overcome and just starts like sort of weeping as he hugs, like still hugging Twinkletoes and like patting Sheethra on the head. Just says, please keep whatever earnings from this sale, keep it for yourselves, please. It will help, I'm sure, in the fights yet to come. Once I'm ready, I will find you. I will. I promise.
We know you will.
Is there anything that we were planning on selling that you think that we should keep?
No. Use use everything for the upcoming fight. Does anyone have a use for this damned item?
And he holds up the Greater Demon Mask.
We're planning on making some
Unsavory.
below board sales. So if you're looking to get rid of it, I think we could do that for you.
He just like tosses it onto the table and says, it's yours. Do with it what you will.
I want nothing more to do with demons or curses anymore.
Is there anything else you wanted to purge yourself of that we could deal with for you? I'm not talking about money. I'm just talking about while you're making a change. Is there anything else we can help you with?
No, just that. Thank you all for the kindness you've shown me.
And I think he has like a moment where he embraces each of you, and then one more time says, thank you. I'll be back. Turns and leaves.
Well, this was unexpected.
What was that all about?
By the way, this bowl of stuff is like still somewhere. I guess it would have been in the safe house, but like as a maybe hint of what happened from the story we heard at the top, like that's somewhere around and probably disgusting and gross.
Oh. Like the stuff you were eating is like in my safe house?
I'm sure at some point it was dealt with prior to this day, you know, but like it was there, and if someone remembers, maybe piece things together. I don't know, but
do you mean the bowl of 80% cassoulet and 20% Chef Pachiro?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And with that, Oski is gone, and you all set about your day. traveling various markets, hitting the Grand Bazaar and other stalls along the way. We'll figure out how much money you all earn through your sales and anything you guys want to buy prior to we'll do off air. And we'll figure all that out. Is there anything else besides selling and buying that anyone would like to do today?
I mean, guys, do we need to hire like human resources to find another person to go into this dungeon with us? Like, I'm a bit worried.
We should at very least let somebody know. I mean, who do we even report to anymore? I guess.
Rinwolf?
Yeah, sure. We don't want to walk into this meeting with the White Rose at 3/4 capacity of what they're expecting, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think if we put a shield on Sheethra, they
Wouldn't notice? They are both kind of green.
Both rather green and rather large.
I don't think Sheethra could fit into the full metal plate armor, but
She's wearing medium barding,
Yeah.
by the way.
She's got barding. It's fine.
hey.
Just paint a couple of Basiluta's tables on it, and we can make it work. I think Runewolf would be a good choice. At very least, he could try to put us in contact with, I don't know, any of the people that we met yesterday. I don't know if they're people we can.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're who you like get in contact with.
I don't think we can just walk into the Primarch's office and be like, "Hey,
Acting Primarch.
acting Primarch's office."
We certainly have several others who can
Yeah.
point in the direction of talented people, but yeah.
What do you all do?
I think we definitely have to take a day to like do some shopping, so like we can kind of bookmark that.
But then once we're done shopping, head over to Runewolf's.
Yeah.
We'll call this morning of the day that you're supposed to meet, because it would take a while for you all to go through and find all of the various shops. Most people aren't going to buy straight up 4 +1 leather armors from you because they can barely sell one in a reasonable time. So you're going to kind of spread things out, hit a couple of different shops.
Gotta find a place to sell the 12 skins on masks and the vial of Blackfinger Blight and like not feel
even-
like the worst people ever.
Not even counting the illicit goods, that you're trying to pawn off.
Yeah.
So morning of the second day. Wow, I completely lost it there. Morning of the second day, you all wake up and head to Runewolf, to the Ascendant Court, to the Stone Shield House, which is, I think, the name of the place. And once more, you see 2 gray cloaks posted up outside. They recognize you at this point. You just see one of them just go, "Here to see Runewolf.
Yeah.
Step inside." And they open
Thank
the door
you.
for you. There's like a little waiting room and a clerk seated at the desk. The clerk that you've met before. He's like, "Oh, a pile of pages of loose parchment just slides off to the side as you startle her by opening the door a little too suddenly. The glasses kind of fall off and she scrambles and papers go everywhere. She takes a moment to collect herself and I'll just go. You're here to see Runewolf, so I'll just and then she goes back down the hallway. About 3-4 minutes later, Runewolf comes back up. I don't know if I have a picture of Runewolf. That would be too convenient. I don't even know if there is art to Runewolf.
Should I Google it?
Probably not. 60 feet under.
Too late. Just kidding.
No Runewolf art, sadly. But again, this
Sad.
is like hulking brick slab of a man. Comes out, just completely shirtless with a gray cloak. Like,
Would you stop it? Would you cut it out?
And it comes out and says, "Ah, back so soon already."
I really don't think you spoke with that accent before.
Just 'cause it's just,
I was hoping for like a new accent, honestly.
Wait, that'd be
waiting
so
for the
good.
Brooklyn
Different
a
accent.
new accent every time we see him.
Is that the bit for Wolf?
Like, I'm pretty sure that you. No, never mind. It's
I think it was like a
Too
Brooklyn accent last
Oh,
time,
mates,
but okay.
can't believe you're back here so soon.
Oh my god.
I mean, we just had the
Ridiculous.
conversation. You're supposed to be going to White Rose tonight, yeah?
Yeah,
yes.
so about that, as you can see, there's one of us missing. Fun fact,
Oh yeah, did you lose him?
it's just like a temporary thing, or like maybe it is a temporary thing, but like a longer temporary. He needs to do some things. So there's only 3 of us now. That's what I'm getting out of that.
Oh sure, yeah, that happens.
We know that you've been setting this up, or someone you know might have been setting this up. We didn't want to feel like we were underrepresenting ourselves or, changing the deal.
I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I'm not really sure what you're getting into. Like I said, White Rose is the one that's been doing all the gathering of information. And, well, I'm just sending you his way for some support. I mean, I don't really know what he needs. Maybe when you get there, if he decides, hey, maybe, 3 blokes is enough, might need a 4th bloke. Maybe you get a 4th bloke.
Sorry, I think I missed this last time. Who is White Rose?
Oh, he's a gent you're supposed to be meeting tonight.
Well, yeah, I got that, but who
What do
is
you
he?
know about him?
What do I know about him? He's an odd fella. Real strange.
In what way?
I mean, look, he's smart. He knows what he's doing. But, there's just something off about him. Can't put my
What-
finger on it.
What does he do?
What do you mean? What does he do?
So for me, I am a quick stabby person, and he's like
Right,
a magic punch person, and he's like a zoom zoom arrow person, and lizard chomp person. What's White Rose?
If I'm catching your drift with those explanations, he casts magic.
But you don't know, not like what kind of. You
I'm
don't.
not a magical person myself. Couldn't really
Got it.
tell you.
Okay.
Who
Okay.
set up this meeting exactly? Was it Rune Wolf or was it like the fucking Primarch?
Oh, I set it up. He's my agent. See, I'm under contract from the Grand Council. He's under contract from me. Ipso facto, if I contract you, you both work together. You working for me, working for Grand Council, you're basically, yeah, it's all the same thing. I don't really understand what the problem is here.
Basically, we were just trying to figure out whether we needed to go find somebody who was qualified to come with us, or whether it would be fine with just us 3 and then this White Rose.
It's comforting to know that you're not concerned
Yeah.
about us not holding up our end of the bargain. So
Yeah.
I think you've done what we asked you to do, Rune Wolf, and we appreciate it.
I mean, it's pretty simple, right? If you don't hold up your end, you're all just dead. So, like, doesn't make a difference.
That is remarkably
You know-
simple. Thanks for your
Nice
guidance.
enough when we
Extremely
talked to you too.
encouraging.
We're like, this is a different person, everybody.
This is an elaborate prank on us.
I'm sorry,
I'm
I
sure.
don't know what's going on. Rinwolf was really nice and hot last time.
we spoke like 2 days ago. I don't understand.
No, I mean like the time before that. Something happened to you between then and then. I don't know.
Are you sure? Well, anyway,
No!
you
No,
all
I'm not
go ahead and meet with White Rose. Figure out what that bloke needs from you. Like I said, he's hot on the trail of the infector, and it's the one we need. So work with him, see what he needs. If you need more assistance than the 3 of you can provide, maybe then you think about, I don't know, mercenaries. I don't really see. Like, I've got an HR department. We like put
I
out
was thinking about
wanted ads for
guys.
new guards, and we have a city budget and things like that, and a very rigid and structured hiring process, and starting pay and advancement, and 401ks. Not really sure the whole mercenary gig, how that works.
Thank you, Mr. Runewolf. This was very informative. We're gonna get going now. Thank you for all your help.
This was insightful in many different ways.
Like I said, just go talk to the chip.
As we're walking out of the building, I turn to Bastro and I'm like, you know how when you first meet a person, it can live like a really great first impression, and then you just sort of like build them up in your head to be this like absolutely incredible person that you just swoon over, and then you meet them again and it just sort of crushes you because they're not what you remembered or built them up to be in your mind.
Bastard's just like, I know exactly. Anyways, is it just me, or should we absolutely not go see this White Rose person? Should we just do anything else?
You're not curious?
I don't know. It sounds like a setup.
I mean, Bastro, why are you so hesitant about? I feel like, Runewolf and all the people we met with the council are the only people we can trust anymore.
All right. You guys convinced me. No more pushback.
Bastro, we should work on your conviction of your morals and beliefs.
Yeah.
I go down easy, as we all know.
We should work on your, or maybe you just shouldn't say stuff that you don't mean. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Well, that solves it. I'm good. Let's go, guys.
In conclusion, yes, it was just you. Moving on.
So, what are we doing? Are we mutzing around, putzing around?
I think that Kashak wants to talk to Erica before we get into anything else crazy.
Sure.
And Kashak has several questions for Erica.
You make your way to the Grand Bazaar again, heading to Historia Reliquary. Fine purveyor of antiques and goods from the Mwangi Expanse and beyond across all of Garund. You open up the tent flaps to see Arakanesh open for business, wares on display, boxes emptied and tables sorted, ready to go with little tags for various gold amountages placed precisely on each item in their specific rows and columns. You see that Erica is currently attending to what appear to be a section of quivers, sorting arrows back and forth out of what appears to be a bag of holding that they are drawing the last of their display goods out of and sorting into various containers. But as you are entering, the flap opening up, Arakanesh turns and says, "Oh, Kashak, how are you doing today?"
I'm well, Erica, and actually, no, I've been better. But how are you?
Well, I'm all right. Is there anything I can help you with today?
Well, yes, I have a couple of magic arrows that I want to, resell to you or anything, but mostly I came here to just sort of talk. And I have a couple more, questions, and he scratches next to his weird eye.
Did you get a henna tattoo?
Did I get what? Looks down at his hand.
There's some scales around your left eye. They just look a little bit. No, they're starting to turn a little bit gold.
What are you talking about? Do you have a, let me see, mirror or water?
Yeah, they reach into the bag of holding and they pull out a little hand mirror. You flick it up to the left side of your guess I'm mirrored on the. Yeah, mirrored on the screen. You flick it up to the left side of your face, and you're holding it out to the side because you have side-facing eyes for some reason. And you're noticing like flecks of metallic gold that run like in the creases between the scales that make up the brow ridge and over the edge of like the snout.
So none of the scales themselves, but like are they almost like painted between the scales?
Yeah. Like little flecks of gold. Like for a second you think, oh, it might just be like glitter, but you realize no, that's like distinct colorations and patches between the scales as you like get closer.
Erica, what is this thing doing to me?
Take a seat. They draw a chair out of the bag of holding.
Whose bag of holding? Don't touch mine. You're very defensive.
Erica's. Erica has been pulling arrows and then a hand mirror and then now a chair out of the bag of holding.
Okay. Sorry, I don't like people touching my bag of holding.
You see Erica takes, I would say approximately, I don't know, like 10 minutes, if I had to guess, to draw a couple of diagrams in the dirt around the chair. And you see them glow this like silver white light as he casts Detect Magic and disseminates the various auras that are emanating off of you and focusing in. He says, it's a very interesting piece. Well, it's a type of artifact, but I use that term loosely. This gem is a type of vessel, almost.
Vessel? What do you mean, vessel?
It holds within it the dormant soul of a creature. And in taking up the gem, it is both lending you a portion of the soul's power, but in return you are feeding power into it and reawakening that soul. It is a soul seed. And much like seeds of the earth, if it is nurtured, it will grow. And it will grow powerful indeed.
And what will happen to the soul inside the seed? Is it a part of me forever?
Souls are a tricky thing. For now, it is not cognizant. It does not have a sentient will. They are just residual imprints of the being whose soul was imprinted upon it, placed in it. Depending on what happens to you, what happens around you, the magics that you encounter, and well, there are a variety of factors that can contribute to reawakening the soul. If the soul reawakens and becomes fully sentient, it will still be attached to you, and you may converse with it, potentially.
I can talk to the creature.
With them. Once it has reawakened. And perhaps from there you can figure out who it is and what to do with them.
I'm rather sure I know what type of creature they are already.
Oh,
And this pretty much confirms it. I think the seed has given me the power of flight. It's given me a breath of fire. And I'm like pretty sure that I could see heat signatures if I really needed to.
I'm sorry,
I think-
heat signatures. I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with this expression.
it's something I kind of don't know how to describe it other than that I can just see heat as a
Like-
precise sense for 1 minute. I can see temperature gradients out to a range of, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 feet.
Speaking purely on the mechanics of vision, you would say that it has a range of about 60 feet and that you could tell the difference in temperature between objects.
The 30 feet. It's not.
30
It's nothing
feet, excuse
crazy.
me. Oh, well.
Well, yes, it allows me to detect living creatures and warm objects even in the dark.
I mean, it seems kind of like a waste of a relic gift, but I mean, you know.
Unfortunately, yeah, warm objects block my sight even like if it's hot water. Like a bunch of steam would make this useless, but you know, it's a minor gift, so
What about
you
hot
know.
air?
I think that would be up to the discretion of the hot air and whoever controls it. But in my opinion, if it was a bunch of hot air in between a creature and I didn't see the creature, I'd think that's a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, to get back on topic,
This conversation.
I'm really scared about this creature. I'm pretty sure that whoever this was, they were a dragon of some kind, and seeing this gold on my face, well, Erica, where I come from, and he kind of catches himself like, oh yeah, you kind of know what's going on there. Golden dragons are revered almost as gods in their own right. I am unprepared to be housing one inside of my face.
I think unprepared and unworthy are two different things.
I hope you're right.
And it would seem that, at the very least, you have time before it regains its consciousness. Which means you have time to rectify one or the other, or both, if you don't think that you're ready.
I'm not sure I want the answer to this question, but I would feel like I wasted your time if I didn't ask it. Will I still be here when that creature awakens?
Surely. See, you are a soul with a vessel. That, while flexible with the right magics, in this case, will not be affected by the soul seed. Again, it's somewhat of a symbiosis.
What?
Its soul was housed in that gem. But the gem could not provide the power necessary on its own to bring the soul back to sentience. It latched on to a creature, you, which it felt would be able to provide power, and in turn, it gives what power it can to you in a mutually beneficial arrangement that neither of you might perish. It's well, for lack of a better word, it's a parasite. For now. Whether it becomes friend or foe depends on your actions when it wakes up.
I refuse to allow it to become a foe.
Oh.
Thank you, Erica. I was just speaking with one of our compatriots about waiting for your gifts to be discovered on their own time. And perhaps I should take my own advice. By the way, he left, and so if you got anybody we can take to this important meeting, I'm taking requests. We got an opening.
I'll keep an eye out.
Oski it was. He's on
Yes.
some kind of spirit journey. Yeah.
The other green one.
Yeah. Thank you, Erica.
So what are those arrows? And you all go through and sort the arrows. You'll get 60% on the arrows from Erikanesh.
I feel like a bad friend. I never asked Erica what horrible spirit stuff's going on with that. But it's for another roleplay session. Do it later.
They pull out some mushrooms and you lose about
Wait.
half a day.
We do
We missed
undisclosed
the
activities with them.
meeting with White Rose.
Meeting.
Um,
So just two of you then, right?
Anybody else? Before the meeting with White Rose?
No.
Bistro.
It's about 10 p.m. when you all set out from your apartment to make it to the Ascendant Court at the allotted time. It's a cold night out, so you pull your jackets, cloaks close for warmth. Eventually turning the corner on the block that houses the abandoned chapel. No longer are there gray cloaks stationed outside to check the entrance to make sure nobody's coming in or out. It's empty. Save for a bright green that you see a glimpse of inside.
Green?
Green.
Green?
Green. As you can,
Like a light? Or like a flap of clothing? Or.
it's hard to tell in the distance in the dark.
Green?
And you're not seeing it head on, you're seeing it through like collapsed windows at odd angles. And as you approach, the wind is picking up, sucking away the warmth. And as you turn to see, or turn into the building, you see two figures standing before you.
Well, actually, Will, it's only one, if I may.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is only one. Before you, you see an elven man. With.
Well-
Well, I'll just let Ben describe him.
Yeah, may I? May I?
You all walk in, and you see a man, human man, with tight features, spectacles. You hear sounds of talking, and this person's facing away, and it seems like they're talking to someone. They've got like tightly coiffed hair, and they begin to turn around and look strangely familiar to both Bastro and Twinkletoes, as you see a normal colored skin for a human, Xavier Forsyth, standing before you.
What?
But he doesn't look like Xavier Forsyth. He's got flowers, like, sort of sprouting all up his arm. And like his hair is almost like the ends of it turn like white and almost look like petals in a weird kind of way. And you hear a voice behind him say, "Oh, Fierce, what is it? Are they here?"
And that's where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight.
What?
What?
Oh, didn't Kashak know Dr. Forsyth?
Yeah, we hung out for a little bit. It's cool. Though. He doesn't-
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
It's okay.
Oh, sorry. I forget when Penumbra came in.
So anyway,
What?
thanks for joining us. We'll be back next time, next week, same time, same place,
See you next week.
same
Bye.
back channel. Have a good week.
Good night, everybody.